NHIS.
I said, oh, hospital and now, what is animal we are say? Was a political space in the area depending on baby will be a Gina across the political divide, and then I influence some of these discussions. But oh, you'll be a Watana hospital now who the realities that man for a good through at the hospitals are. It's one of the horrible experiences I mean, at the time my hospital or bit me bedaho. Say insurance no, but clearly you know say it's not serving anything. And over the years, I hope Nissan Kaibet me a pajama drew baby because I'm on fast to me said I'm going na a kudru baby as a healthcare delivery as a for by a challenge that won't me assess a brow and services in a hospital no as a woodra insurance so the mouth and I'm backlog I go hospital no almost no near my mother man for no or enti at the end of the day, a marathon and as I buy reimburse you almost have your pay or more your friends suppliers and then as a foreigner man and go through more very difficult for them to go ahead to offer such services a way to a man for. So I think that I see you na share na because your hospital they will be at me at any point in time. And Oku drew on us encounter such a situation. It's very horrible.
With a miracle, Abuaje, the Atuja said 95% of diseases are covered by the NHIS now. Or CCC, the Oba my Ghana, 95% of a year diseases in NHIS no cover.
Menim disease awakosuya, menim baby okoya medicine what me abwa the number of disease there. And national health insurance, it me a cover your friend say ninyina. And American, you see, when you are outsider, it's so easy to speak about some of these things for political expediency. But the reality, my main fact, we know one in the course of your program, yeah, I'll link you to maybe a doctor or a nurse. I will feel that every day and night, they engage patients, and then as a form of nim kwanya this health insurance case situation, the city, and what patient go through at the hospital. And what Sinene Kasawi na or a picture skill description of what actually goes on in our hospitals. I think that these political fancy talks and then as a former you see very often you hear politicians banding around on political platforms like this, you will not take it serious.
Na eja we dear wangasa why health professional dear coming from you dear we all know say you are talking from the realities on the ground. Yen shadio ene Kennedy akompreko Agyapong Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia the 3-day tour Eko Ashanti region wadina no assembi atudwa was say times are hard but NDC can never be an alternative. They are dangerous. Don't be deceived by their false promises. Kennedy asemi okay yentungu ana yemfana supem.
Dedika Utugua enye because Canada Japan is a politician. And Sadia Meno Yachira Yabin, Obia wa Quenya, Debia Meka, Obia wa Quenya to belong to whichever political party, Obia to Michirana at any point in time. But Yana Yetieno, NSA Yansa for na yehu and Samna Dipano Kano.
Yeah.
So for say Obi Obakasa, they won't me Menoka say nobody can stop us from talking. But the ATNO can decide whether say Obi take input and also make any sense out of what we are saying. That is up to them. The mere fact that Kasana doesn't mean say you shove everything down their throat. That is why they are discerning, they are reasonable. So Canada Japan Kasa I think say he is entitled to, but credibility in politics is very, very important. And say Utie during MPP flag bearership race, the contest between Canada Japan, the friend saying, Bawumia, na Utie campaign and Canada Japan, na Nsamana all can about the vice president, demonstrating say over the years, he has failed because dollar ne CD economy ne nase forum. And in some na Canada Japan can at that time relating to the competence of Dr. Bawumia as a person, and society because Amrana MPP ye friend saying flag bearership campaign, So here's this dollar dinner. It was around 11, 12 cedis. Fast forward, we are around somewhere 16, 16, 15 cities. So clearly, it was circumstances are not changing, yes, even getting worse. So if another day, the same person turns around to tell you, say, you handing over the fortunes of Ghana to Dr. Bawumia because he thinks they are better than NDC. Beyond the politics, I'm not sure say he said anything that is serious at Ghana for a bit taking it serious because what he has demonstrated in seminar Wakanda in the past, attacking the very credibility of the person today he's voting for. No, I think it is only politics because our party no free and hardly now but we say Canada Japan abra onyam free party no na obeka say Bawumia cannot manage the economy. But I think Ghana near person attach any seriousness to some way or can you should look at in some on one kind during the campaign period. In some now can say a campaign there are some people who make up issues or can without any reasonable basis. Yes, but in some na Kennedy can have factor. Na Ghana for quite much aware. I'm phoning the course because issues are related to the economy. How this country has been mismanaged, and the fact is that many promises have been made. Kumasi on one campaign where okay, or can't say people should look at on one case an import duty what he was telling the people. Somebody sent me a video. So it also say we see we are very dishonest with ourselves sometimes when it comes to issues like this. Because the reason why MPP yet presidential or more aspirant campaigner. Now I would prefer say Bawumia Bawene, even though I feel that Bawumia is incompetent. Dan Canada Japan has to do with issues like this. You see, Canada Japan is a self-centered individual who is very selfish and always about himself. And it's a ubeti in some or during the campaign period now. Anytime be about say Canada Japan about one thing, Casabian, now they're not inquire or not as an individual. For instance, or say MPP national chairman and not Otis Day, now no lands commission boss.
Yeah.
Of course, all Kotasa, I could hear any sick and as a foreman. One fast as an man, and for that matter, he will do everything to ensure that Papa Nebelus in the seat. We see what's your bontina offer in 7 tra. You might think, so okay, that's fine because so pass as one farmer. But this is a guy, assassin or my assassin, ideally, it's not supposed to be sold. Because one can say, yes, assassin, I Ramsar site to say, Yakase, and it's a yaton. In the first place, what kwasa wo kwakota asase the same go ton mama o je receipt ya nka o ma bon tin so ba kasa again what in the coast store hon sama or say taxes in na for GRA for ban no hon office we nim nipa GRA for kwatena mo offices ya fa ne say e wo kroma say o ya pa de wo adwumamunu na GRA for to work. There are several people until say ya kwatena no hon. That is when you heard him out and or making those kind of noise. And in the MPP, anytime be a man a contract, man say be a me secret, me can't me will say me. So that is the person in question. Make us such a character, and you cannot trust him because we knew what he has been promised. Why upon order and some he was already Bawumia here now in a campaign. But you see, society na team no, nipa bina too partisan. Na this NDC MPP politics where we more drew a three. Not nipa politicians who say you're very reasonable, now very sensible. Dr. Rehan, I am not sure second the Japan today will be out there pushing the kind of information he's pushing out.
Into Ususu say or the a friend is saying the party ne dinkain than a year being faithful and loyal to Mother Ghana.
Oh, that is how I see it. And that has always been the case with the most Ghanaian politicians. Issues not bad. Instead of saying about tackle the root cause of issue. Last week, me know better about CD dollar depreciation.
Yeah.
We enumerated a number of systemic measures. You take care, you know, say we will get somewhere. But the discourse on the radio has always been limited to Bawumia say, Mahama say, Akufo-Addo say, Bawumia say. The core issues do not have been left unattended to. And that is the reason why our politics are taking center stage. Because Canada Japan somehow can fast forward from a time and all Kasa and 7 there, he can go back and tell the people of Kumasi, say, okay, Abrana campaign, no, me can some say, by ne. Dr. Bawumia MPP are buying at me turning the fortunes around. Things are better today compared to those times and I may a campaigner. Then you know, sir, you've been able to push yourself in a particular platform or draw a bit of credibility to yourself. But we are talking about situation now, your woman, then our catch people say they should vote for Bawumia. Now, I are far worse than even the time and our campaign, you know. And if you want to understand it, you can look at the dollar. If you want to understand it, you can look at your debt, your fencing portfolio, then as for look at the currency. And I'm pretty much sure that we are aware. Say Bloomberg, since it's all says all trackers currencies in the world. I always 55, 150 countries, you know. Or say Ghana, your record that yeah, down when no is the worst since 1994.
Yeah.
Since free say Bloomberg say or check currency whether they are gaining or depreciating, you know. Since 1994, this time is the worst streak Ghana city I experience it. And the whole of this 150 countries my and Sampe and a Ghana city are better than the Egyptian pound, the Nigerian naira, and one other country. The whole of 150 countries. So our currency is the fourth worst performing country, seed currency in about 150 countries. So the circumstances hasn't changed. And if you look at the circumstances, I lead to the coming of Bawumia.
And worse in 30 years in terms of Ghana's history.
Exactly. And this is the manager. Bawumia is the manager. So if you are selling that person to Ghana for, people will not buy until you have said, oh, these are the positive sides. And Nema say, in some no kind, he couldn't back to none say Montoma MPP because NDC for a wiki, NDC for without emulating.
But to people who say, as someone are working, I mean, the average Ghanaian, I say almost about 9 to 10 million people are here. Friend is ignorant, uneducated, they cannot read, understand. Now, express. Don't you think so? No, kotona suma power, no, no, or they were running because. Obi Mr. say NDC cry, CC cry, no cry. No one said there who campaign, no strategy. No said that we will see much more of MPP on every social media, on all the news platforms. Most of the year, a friend is saying, the news outlets. I mean, the alternative, even though Ghanaians are calling for change, what is the alternative also doing?
Yes, I think that such message, said a wusi kanda kotoma obi o ha no NDC MPP in politics no and baby issues be free about na no tie on fa this in-depth interrogation and as a forum. So opposition so we are serious. You just have to pick on the issues because say am no say the political landscape said we see in about 2 months in here. You always see Bawumia everywhere. The guy is campaigning as if say on the opposition. And the NDC is behaving as if they're power no when we and I think there is a bit of complacency. One you careful. Because the way Amana Bawumia has approached this particular elections, is totally different from what the opposition party now hope is over to me because I don't know what the motivations are. People think, oh, you're far away, the way Amana things are going, And you see, so and some Bawumia can not said was a conducting home, not ordering some children on and some buafano. And Mama have my deepen in the eyes of a lot of people. So people think that is okay, but trust me, this is politics, that is not okay. Campaigning as if one people na campaign more are not designing individuals. You can say they will sit down and do critical analysis or the obehu. And not the other fact. I have seen a lot of NDC platforms. I will call Bawumia our platform or some on a video.
And they are fired.
Yes. So timer nya actanase bring critical issues to bear. Now I expose the person for who he is, The videos are all sad. I'm for Tonyom. It's all over on platforms. And I'm for a Ghana for no. Yes, the nipa ni behuno. I cannot be. And said Missicano, there are people are not say analyze it. events, ne situations, and one for about. Obi had in the neighborhood who say visible, and I'll talk about Mano.
Exactly.
That is how the kind of gullible people are, or more a part of this political process. And the one has a position now, we are serious, no? You need to work extra harder, even if you think it's a goodwill is on your side. But you cannot rely on goodwill because Akufo-Addo, the goodwill falls on the side of Mahama because the guy was president. He was doing his bit. MPP came and told us, oh, he's incompetent, blah, blah, blah. MPP takes over and they mess up badly. Naturally, no, goodwill will fall to his side. But the thing is, goodwill not fall on your side. How are you capitalizing on that particular goodwill to ensure, say, you sell your message? You don't rest. You go around being visible everywhere for people to know, say, you are even more active than Nipana or Abaimua or play a vice president role, but he's out there everywhere and social media and as a he's even trending on all NDC platforms and as a forum. So I think that seriousness built is a bit questionable on the part of the opposition. You need to do everything because politics in the elections are one when it comes to NDC and MPP. Core supporters, we are dead hardly never change. But there are certain middle people we are, like I said, I'm going to determine who wins elections in this country. And this is what check the electoral map of Ghana. Places like Central Region, BA, First and Piamuno, Greater Accra. These are areas that determine who wins the defense and Nipana or Obedia Kumia. And these areas predominantly Central and Accra are one of the most enlightened communities and our societies. Actually, say people are a bit discerning and as a form. So what to me church the win same, but there are a lot of people who are still confused. Okay, Bawumia and yes, Akufo-Addo mess it up. What is the alternative coming? People will sit down and do a lot of analysis. Now, one thing say indeed the alternative has something better to offer than the year coming and sign. Else, a lot of people are going to they will sit away.
Yeah,
because the conclusion will be say, oh, and a lot of people, that is why you have low voting turnout. A lot of people will decide not to, but that is not what we want. We want a situation where various parties will be very competitive by bringing up policies alternative for that discussion will drive the conversation. I said, drive will lead that conversation. And then the average and the ordinary Ghanaian will have a choice to look through. Maybe your friends are a devil and the blue seer. You definitely have to go deeper, analyze the fortunes of your friends or minor and see where to place your vote. So I think it will depend on. So to me, I'm not surprised, but some like in Japan and as a form or more Canada, said that basic canon. What do you expect? The basic because once he's part of the party, by Obia or recognize it, who say the credibility in some of is at stake. He will be careful in saying some of the things that are all canon. And now saying some of canon, you need to bring up certain key points that what convincing people who say. So what kind of opposition a wicked now only options and then as for at least you should be able to enumerate a number of points that would it justify, but to throw it trust hope is that people should vote for this person. Your minor destiny as some like and I will have Ghana they go through in the last 6 years, 7, 8 years. Yeah, Charlie, and easy and yet they say where all the forecasts coming up. They are telling us that you this year, not city, our 16 cities, which is even not true. Because in the past, Moody's forecasted say Ghana be ended 2024 with 12 cities dollar per dollar. Here, no, you half, you 16 cities. So this forecast, I hope Bloomberg they say, or hope say you concluded this year 16 cities. And trust me, we may end this year around $20, 20 cities per dollar, because intervention be a mini partner. You need to also with that intervention. On the campaign, as you said, there is no problem at home. We are sitting on a big problem. And the people who are supposed to ensure that we fix this problem are out there campaigning. They don't care about the mess they've created. They don't shy. They don't give a damn. They don't respect the people. They are out there campaigning. Say, give me this tier. Now this tier, no mamia. then I will turn the fortunes around. Ghana must be a joke republic to be entertaining all these political jokers.
And they will share the way woman penny a kufa do crano, and they don't know call a year ton qua overseas ton or no you. On Shadant now, my gun and Nimukrampon Wakasebia or putti a year minds together to fix the economy. And he has already given up crash on my gun and idea. Oh no, the challenges of a year, economic challenges, Nagas and him said in or him said your full for beban obey wonders as in. Yeka say dear, onam a friend is a walk Bahamas, Ofriwa, Obeba Switzerland, a year Europe, and San Ordinary actually were my gun. Talking about President Akufo-Addo.
This is President Nifie Ejadamo.
Yes.
Economically, Ejadem, because Bloomberg report everything about Ghana's economy. Actually, how far you mess it up. And as president, or dying days way, few days to leave office, you might want to leave a legacy. A bit sicky, a bit look better, considering the notoriety the president has gained over the years. You focus on fixing the problems, but he's on a holiday. That's what I'm telling you. Say, you see, political power, no. The the people. We've allowed ourselves to be taken for granted for long, and in a political situation, Nipa allow themselves to be taken for granted. No, say the beba, because in the midst of the win, a dear Ben Pana motivational. And President Bitmania could do no more campaigning for me, and Bawumia is also out there campaigning for himself. And the problem, no, you still have power to turn the situation around. Nothing is being done.
And don't think about for the can say a few way there say Ora John Mahama Olusua, not just one why no. It's not because Ghanaians want a year Ghana form pay change. Name woman on one want to me and to tune in your strategically. So be to me a winnie a year about one free a year the MPP and same. Yem free one I am call inflation. You see inflation. Okay. You see inflation had dropped to a year 23%, 23.1% from 25%. Inti what do submission back on now one marry it to a year the inflation a year question.
Okay, what am I mean or inflation so I think that they are expecting this inflation back down. Because there be a mekase ade ba ko a edi o manya wasase we super inflation.
Yeah.
So obeka the Zimbabwean example how koto bread I just also say scale go hwiba room na wapia akwa koto bread ba ko. E kire wo pan sika na fa so a devalue. And it's unfortunate that some of these numbers being thrown around, you know, they do not reflect the actual situation on the ground. They do not. Because, Dr. Ren, the rate at which prices of goods and services are going up in this country. Recently, cement air trendy and several other basic commodities in for food inflation, other inflations are home. The rate at which are air driver. Some of these things for the purposes of our politics. You know, sometimes you see, we seek to drive some of these numbers in order to paint a good image about the government. But to me, realistically, you know, I'm not sure that Ghana, inflation numbers and a number be a year cannot. Because the realities on the ground, you know, are pointed to the other side. Other stringent measures that you expect to say we as a people are able to put in place. Able to be solve. So say intervention being you put in place and you know this you recorded these numbers. When indeed prices of items still cost because and milk move from 4 cities to 5 cities. You don't expect surprise in the from BMO. 18 and Sikano, what you need so what they call when you've been out the count and the prices are going up. So realistically, you know, some of these numbers, you know, the cost for ground now. Sometimes you begin to wonder. You see the mismatch is very apparent. The disconnect is huge because it's like people sitting somewhere doing their own thing. And the Ghana economy is also sitting somewhere doing its own thing. So, at the point that, look at the rate at which the dollar is rising. And you know very well that the dollar rising, you know, virtually affect prices and commodities in this country. So how then do you tell me that at the time when the CD is driving crazy, things are going up, prices are going up, you know, your inflation is coming down. How is it possible? that is why and like I said, some of these things, these saying quantitative figures, qualitative figures like this, you can't take them serious. But you look at the actuals, the reality, what the average and the ordinary Ghanaian is going through, and the year can Ghana for credit or not inflation. I say, they don't say any inflation. Only the only say, or cranisika or bit me at idea, and never more ramano, na system bekoye. These are the inflation whatever is for the elite. Sometimes we do some of these analysis just to put a description on the economy. But the economy itself is doing its own thing. So I think that we've gone to a time where we need to be very realistic. Now you link these theories, these numbers, these to what is happening. So whenever we say there is a drop in, whenever there is an increase in GDP, the average and ordinary Ghanaian could feel say there has been a significant improvement in the life. Whenever it says inflation a drop here, you know, say the rate at which I was spending on Sabi, nema emuaya hen kakra, and that would or salary. Now what the cockota there. Sikaro winya sisa 100 Ghana pe. What's the sign say sanyina back pe. Salary agent the same thing, but prices in nasa for air cost about it. Yes, inflation air drive up from.
Maminka a friend is saying a year what raises our point, according to a year Ghana Statistical Service, almost food inflation a year contributed to the overall drop to the rate of inflation. Almost say Oshe a friend is saying none a year food inflation it increased slightly to 23.6% in May 2024 and up from 23.5% in April 2024. They say Oshe non-food inflation there eja emane musu onomsi inflation for locally produced items and imported items fell to 24.7% and 19.6% a year respectively. Now, I mean, the crack running in an say, a board on the market at the same. A year transport fares a board at the same. Send your walking. Inflation, it needs to reflect on the prices of goods and services. It is an inflation, take off from there. Other than a price of goods and services, and so you want to say reflect it, including a year transport, a year fares, and so because transport fares in the co-fund your may bar, a did to Tuswa, now a giant increase a year price of tomatoes, Nimekui.
Yes, because inflation, bro, focus here and the tension and say the rate at which near my boy and money muso a inflate whenever there is a deflation, but deflation normally it doesn't happen. So prices of goods and services, at any point in time, rise the cost run and as a form. Pay the more they are telling us, Baby a cocoa drew and name associate form. But the reality is nothing is coming down. And I am saying, one of the driving forces, some of these things, has to do with the dollar. Because importation in this country is everything. You import everything in dollars. And the dollar is driving crazy, which means that a dollar cost affected the prices of everything in this particular country. And you expect to save money. So this is an easy link to make. So at the time, a dollar no cost man for the name about the boy ding, name boy costro, and then a day I was on 5 cities, we can do 10 cities. And then it is an obey discussion about a malt, can malt recently net 3 cities, 50 pesos, and then people are buying it at 10 cities. Look at the rate. 10 cities in it is expected to go up. I didn't know people were buying 5 cities, and then I didn't make here 8 cities, 50 pesos. So look at the quantum jump, the exponential rise in the prices. So some of these things, you see, we sometimes fancy.
And you okay, the mama a year papa year menu, a year menu, a year changes assistant from 2019. Now you talk a year papa year fried rice in 19 cities, 2020 and about 25 cities, 2021 enough a year 25 cities now a year in quantity a year 250 anamboa. Na a year about 2022 about 36 cities. 2022 na nkasano a year January when 36 cities. A baby see a year May muhono and normally call 40 cities. And 2023 a man must call 60 cities. And this is the papaya topana ja a year Ivan Wenya weja nice girl bineja one call a year papaya kwa 2024 idea just a was 70 cities and san wenya papaya a year plate back wedi.
You see, I don't know yet low cost or because mole no. I don't know mole no. So you can
normal
imagine.
one umfa fanta anyway in count.
Yes. So open they are packaging a camera. Dr. Ryan, so you see, these are the realities. But you see, some of these things give you politicians the comfort to maybe comfort themselves. Say, oh, things are getting better. And they lose focus on what is actually happening on the ground. But you see, you're not money to say they know. If you visit the market, now we know what people are going through. Say, when our politician now we feel that for at least a man for on the streets, they buy petrol, they buy food or general salary, they're now 80 meter. Then so now over 20,000 Ghana cedis at the bank. Now convert it to dollars. Now who the value? Now 1 year after the same Sikano, convert here. You could see the Sikano the bank, nothing has happened, but the value are depreciated by almost half of the amount of money or bank, So these are the realities. About Nema, go to Aboso kind and look at how people are complaining. Because the Sikana or the carbon thing confirm Nema no. Because of dollar depreciation, okura 1 million as you can a suit to take money by 500,000. Adia among Fontias, no. Sikania 1 million okura no diga. Obano was a 1 million or the cut spare parts, no diaba. And I'm says Sidina at depreciating, Sika 1 million automatically, a multimeter half. Now 500 cities without a womoka, found copying, pana, found to iPhone or girlfriend as a fool. Sikanu crowd can because of dollar depreciation, city depreciation, one lose half of your money. These are the realities the average and ordinary Ghanaian on daily basis, go through. So I think we need to look at the problem and look at the way to fix these problems once and for all. And the last time I was telling you, say nothing was savage this country. Economy until say you better turn it around, say you're working on production. Now you're making sure say industrialization, you be yamana ye. Now you produce some of the 30 on imports. So you yes, now you're making sure say we fix some of these things. Trust me. I said dollar, I said depreciate here started somewhere in 1990. Whatever. You think we will ever go back? It's Kwame Nkrumah can say be or say forward ever, backwards never. We are not going back. It doesn't matter the promises any are buying the promise so me bad dollar no obwa. It will go forward as long as we continue to import everything in this country. And then nema na MIA dollar forex no kruma no. Me sure say well read the Bloomberg report no. Or can't you say Aye, import sika yenye free cocoa as a last year. By this time, about first 2 months, now yenya over $1 billion free cocoa by this year. As what half? Yenya $508 million. So it's almost half.
What him say me no ka say Bawumia cook mas secret meeting bi okoye. Oni cocoa farmers ko share. Ana say enwema PAP mu ho no enye easy. Yes, and these are the reality because over the years, cocoa has been the backbone of Ghana's economy for time. And we know, but how do we incentivize the farmers in ensuring say, me enya sika bi anase ade no mo ye no be lucrative enough? Nothing. And the cocoa farmers no come more say more bank Cote d'Ivoire no some of them smuggle their cocoa through the bush, the Cote d'Ivoire for a better price because they know that the Ghanaian government is cheating them. Fertilizers are abas and one geno and I say a tongue. Say ya dear ba cocoa no so wine and a emo musica. Galamsey for a cocoa to Galamsey. And it is the same government officials are part of this. Me no ka say there eye Kumasi eye Ashanti region for baby eye Sabronum omote eye Ashanti region de omonim Sabronum me no ka say ho ne mudua cocoa pa ene omotwa cocoa fuo bebre no agu a omde ye galamsey omde ama China fo a me no ka say baby ene wo pegana baby a omo ye galamsey din a eye Sabronum e wa Ashanti region.
Yes. And I say even Western region, so Western region has been a backbone.
Western the almost saying the crowd, but any the
Yes.
currently the baby do many akwasha Ashanti regional minister no crowd is alleged to be involved with this particular Chinese company. I was Sabrunum. I say how the okwa machine say gu no because assassin is very 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 fertile. And waja omo hunu ne say gold nso assassin so a wo mu tu no pe wiane anajo. Chese night nyina floor light ase and wo mu tu.
Dr. Ran, I say Ghana na ye wo no obi a dwene de obedi na ne ho wo. Nobody is thinking about the future. Obi am for obi a ho. Your generation na ya ba no. Sa na ye ti a week now. Onanka osofo timi ko gina ye fans ay podium so no preach. Ente bia obi timi ka say in the next 10 years yesu beba. Asa we are na ye wo ma ada over 10 million years ago generation of obi aba eduru ye so no nko ande nyankopon ma mesa we ase no nko. Because there is no future. This is the kind of sick mentality I wear team. So I think say until say even making effort because cocoa and yet 1 million tons of your friends say cocoa no, and it is expected that by this year we will fall below 500,000 tons of cocoa. Oh, Kruma, I tell say you half it, you gains by half. Cocoa na tons na yenya no ya slashing or half all because of activities like galamsey, activities like some of these things smuggling and as if for them diseases the fact that fertilizer as a yede eco complemented the boama near pega ni muno. A man for a town, a bit more train as smuggle abonting. A been a former Greek minister so could see a donkey our border swat or transported with such a joker wanted to be president. Or the koi. So near man nice yeah. Emma forest no eba krom ha no kakra da be ka no sisira da pa no so sisagu amon passe. Amon for sabibu fridge amon for the big poly tank him. So the problem there I think there a lack of leadership because Akufo-Addo has failed woefully. He has proven that he's not a leader. And Nimkrofo no obia ya do ope. And in a country where there is no orderliness, in a country where there seem to be no discipline, a creating an orderless society, a society a looking like chaos, and nothing will work. That is why every person, a PC, parliamentary candidate of a certain party, in the community for say, soldier for no bahase, omamuntu galamsi, amamu.
Amampenya me no ka say ya busoja former NDC for issue a press statement cry eja omodi bia send me fiti enra efa ye boy ya busoja ni.
Yes. And the person now yes ade we no police form friendum bisa na no asem kra o. Wa fa no ho adi. So when you live in such a republic, impunity, a tribal at executive level, where people who have the power to act and decide IGP, I don't know, so in recent times, I don't know whether he's becoming a stooge or not. So issues like this, you don't even need an approval from anybody. Issues like this, you act in the face of it. But Dr. Ren, Ghana is a dirty place.
Mamin kind a year press, a year release, yeah. A friend is NDC, ready by or say, GAF a year cautions against calls for attack on soldiers. The NDC has taken notice of the viral video on social media inciting illegal miners, galamseyers, to attack any soldier found on their site on patrol. In the said video, on one Mr. Ernest Frimpong, the parliamentary candidate of the new Patriotic Party in the Amenfi East constituency of the Western region, made other damning submissions. He mentioned that Operational Galam Stop, Operational Vanguard, Operational Halt 1 and 2 have all been suspended by his MPP government. Therefore, Galamseyers are given the green light to mine without any inhibitions from anyone, especially the police and the military. Enti ewade o hwe the way the tintini nyina na tietie nim nyina na
yeah
chese ufa oman Ghana yesi president Akufo-Addo obi a no he respect rule of law na penso ne party members ebeka ewa abontin ye hunu ne whole regional minister regional minister nso de nim so gina homa eye president no wo eye regional
Yes.
name. And they say or not one was sren wo born in some see a cheap police for the soldier from bom dia. I just say directly indirectly need a president message na omo yede. Omo convey ediama wo mo a friend saying members are omo a region him. And anya sanity.
Oh yes, that is why the military officer was beaten to the pulp. Because you see, my country say Ghana yet young crack who so the kakra. Because of the history, because of coup d'etat history, the kind of policy for is a zoom says soldier for brutalities in as a form. But maybe America, say police in ya dear soldier near what dear na or say uniform. The uniform no is a representation of state authority. And the Nippon uniform, no, you need to respect that. But to go to extent I your friend is saying Obia or ye Langard. To me, you two a turbo soldier need team but pipe in a tie. Abra original police station and him. You require man for fast so muku Major Mahama. And several military officers ya khaki or in the broad day. Na sa nema we nyina koso. Now, in the face of this, you don't see any definitive statement from the president announced our commander-in-chief of the army. No single statement in any of these instances. Now, free no have say Nema way as a president and me condemn it. But to have his representative like DC, a regional minister, and a candidate for the party, in the upcoming elections, inciting the teaming youth, our more that region is which just so the new baby abono. Don't allow them to be called galamsey, abayama hokwan se buntu galamsey. This is a statement from a prospective candidate, our parliament. And in the face of this, nothing happens. IGP then as for Bia cannot na yeto na yeshe. But it could happen on the other side. Now, no, so circumstances are leading to the arrest of NDC parliamentary candidate or Kaswaya.
Yeah.
We had an incident now here some more canon. Now we had the how say yeah in the past. Now we had the Akosia. Then you begin to ask yourself, a man yeah, exactly. That is the notion you get. Because if that woman can be placed behind bars for days for that particular offense now, then you ask yourself, say, how come? Nipa all your way, Nipa why your way? They've all been left off the hook, as if say or chrono emranim. We do these things emboldening people to do the excesses. That is why I feel scared for what is going to happen in the 2024 elections. More beyond now, Dr. Ren, it's not going to be incident free. It's not. Because we have emboldened people. Recent, you're trying to say, a recruitment of more into the army, police, and as if because of this purpose. We are going to arm people to go and do their worst to ensure that the regime will stand. But trust me, say Ghana for Sorka said, we want changer. Nobody can stop that change. Because the screams of change, will be so heavy and overwhelming. Say, no man or authority or power can stop it. Unless a Ghana force it, they don't want it. So, we should be guided and be conscious of all these things. Now, you're making sure, say, irrespective of which political party you represent, Ghana is the main thing. And we cannot project our interest override the interest of the nation because Ghana no boy. Party if I we are one people with a common destiny. The year must gear towards securing the very foundations of our democracy, the very foundations of our people, and making sure that we provide for their welfare, we provide for their security, and ensuring say but I'm quite sana madam were buying with media me were police for and soldier for power way transient you at a sansa and your business can power no castle because the same tangent. What will become of this country? So I think we need to be guided and do things right.
Abusia Uguso Wutie Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Yani Yenuya Eye Ivan Kyei Innocent and I no etwetwe and komono. Your topics are here so inflation and you see a drop every 25 akọ 23.1%. Now as we bisa say, does it reflect on the prices of goods and services on the general market in Ghana now? Aven so honorable Kennedy compare kwa Agyapong the assembly atudwa. Me no ka say the Bawumia Asia otumfo say tutu. Na eja won mo de omon komo ne omon nsem eja omo de aboboro so amanfo nso so omo hwe anim say ebi after the meeting no omo ebe announce so the running mate ediama Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia yenhwe na me ka about nkambese ye Anglo Gold Ashanti calls for industry collaboration for sustainable development in communities but yenhwe asem bia minister Asenso Boachi ede atudwa or say I have never seen any serious country where they don't toll their roads. We a road minister Asenso Boachi.
Sir, as I'm now all canon or no obi any baby or direct here to because so that question no I'm from a predecessor no phone so no bisano. What his motivations were. The NTR or stop pay tolls no on our road. And say from that time, how much this country has lost as a result of that reckless, irresponsible decision. The predecessor, which the whole government, a Ghana to support him. Your road, and the Obia Ento. Like he said, you live in the UK, other people live in the US and other places. Tell me, you can't go past certain kilometers without paying a road toll. Because these are monies that are used to ensure that we maintain the roads. It is done everywhere. It is done everywhere. So you make sure that better systems are put in place. Revenue now will lose, Ubet me, afa cancer, what check is Ghana for what winning me, and baby, there could be a Coseho. Nipa or Tito boot, or crown one cassa printing the receipt there. At the send bottom to a tear bind the back on swat and the back because there is no system in place. I check his animal way. And Nipana had take it in our children on check it or be crowd how come or Piesicana on G ticket. I know they know these monies go somewhere. But as a leader, one else will taking measures to say, sir, to ensure, sir, the human interface. I was an animal way, no. There are places in the US and in as a foreigner. You don't see anybody on the road, but you pay the road toll. Because when I said the city and we any pocket na quarantine fees your friend is saying my may do sika and as a forum. But systems because technology then as for advance it to a pointer. Baby I'll cross to be and you make sure say you pay the money whichever way. So these are some of the measures and can expect to say be go than that particular decision now minister that's already with that records to parliament and then as for that's already also any tools when he knows that at least now you over $71 million Ghana cedis and over on our road on a yearly basis. So who is going to pay for that money?
Memfa a friend is saying the NDC one communication officer Sunyane or so person joining and Komoi Imamem fan and Jina Sumame. Na me funny